Insurance companies have one job: pay you as little as possible, and they're really good at it. In this video, I'm going to show you the 5 tactics that insurance adjusters use to slash your settlement in Virginia and exactly how to protect yourself from each one. Hi, I'm attorney Christian Simpson. For the last 10 years, my firm has helped thousands of Virginians recover over $100 million for their families. I make these videos to help you too. If you or someone you know has been hurt in a crash, call 1-800-CRASH-VA. Let me be clear about something right up front. Insurance adjusters are not your friends. They don't work for you, they work for the insurance company. It's just business. And once you understand how their business works, you can protect yourself from the tactics they use to reduce what you're owed. Let's walk through the 5 most common ways they do it. First tactic: using insurance adjusters to dig up anything that can hurt your claim. When you file a claim, the insurance company assigns an adjuster. That adjuster's job isn't to help you heal or get back on your feet. Their job is to investigate your claim and find reasons to pay less. They'll start by reviewing the police report. If there's anything in that report, even a casual comment you made at the scene that suggests you might share fault, they'll use it. They'll comb through your social media looking for posts that make you look active or pain-free. A photo of you smiling at a family cookout, to them, that's evidence you're not really hurt. A fitness tracker that auto-shared your walk to the mailbox, that becomes proof you're exaggerating your injuries. They'll also ask you questions over the phone, and they're trained to make those questions sound friendly and informal. But every word you say is being documented. If you say something like, "I'm feeling a little better," they'll quote that later to argue your injuries weren't serious. If you guess about how fast you were going or admit you were distracted for even a second, they'll use that to shift blame onto you. The takeaway here is simple. Be careful what you say, what you post, and what you sign. If an adjuster asks you to give a recorded statement or sign a medical release, pause. Those are tools they use to gather ammunition, not to help you. Second tactic: digging into your medical history to find pre-existing conditions. Here's one of their favorite moves. The adjuster will ask you to sign a blanket medical authorization so they can review your treatment. Sounds reasonable, right? The problem is, that authorization doesn't just cover records related to the crash, it gives them access to your entire medical history. And once they have that access, they go fishing. They're looking for anything: an old injury, a chronic condition, even a routine complaint from years ago that they can use to argue your current pain isn't from the crash. If you hurt your back 5 years ago and mentioned it to your doctor, they'll claim your back pain now is just a flare-up of that old issue, not something the accident caused. Sometimes they're not even subtle about it. They'll take a note from a decade ago and blow it up into something much bigger than it was, just to create doubt about whether the crash is really to blame. So here's what you need to know. You should never sign a blanket medical release for an insurance adjuster without talking to a lawyer first. If they need records, provide only the ones directly related to the crash and your current treatment. Protect your privacy and don't give them a free pass to go on a fishing expedition through your entire medical history. Third tactic: blaming you for part of the accident to reduce or eliminate your claim. This one hits hard in Virginia, and it's something you need to understand early. Virginia follows a rule called contributory negligence. What that means is if you're even 1% at fault for the accident, you can be barred from recovering anything. Not a reduced settlement, nothing. Insurance companies know this, and they exploit it ruthlessly. They'll look for any shred of evidence that you contributed to the crash. Maybe you were changing lanes, maybe you were a few miles over the speed limit, maybe the sun was in your eyes. It doesn't matter how small the issue is. If they can argue that you share fault, they'll use it to try to deny your entire claim. This is why the evidence you collect at the scene matters so much. Clear photos, witness statements, and a solid police report make it much harder for them to shift blame onto you. And it's also why having an experienced attorney is critical in Virginia. We know how to build a case that shuts down these fault-shifting arguments before they even gain traction. In other states like West Virginia, the rules are different. They use comparative fault, which means your compensation gets reduced by your percentage of fault, but you can still recover something. Virginia doesn't work that way. It's all or nothing. So when the adjuster starts hinting that you might have played a role in the crash, don't brush it off. That's not a casual conversation. It's a strategy to destroy your claim. Fourth tactic: discounting your medical bills and diagnostic tests. Not all medical bills are treated equally by insurance adjusters, and they know it. They'll look for ways to argue that certain bills shouldn't count toward your settlement or that they should be valued at less than you actually paid. One common target is diagnostic testing done early in your treatment. Let's say you went to the ER right after the crash, and they ordered an MRI or a CT scan to check for internal injuries. Those tests are expensive, sometimes thousands of dollars. But if the test didn't show something dramatic like a fracture or a herniation, the adjuster will argue that the test was unnecessary, that you didn't suffer much during the process of getting diagnosed. They'll also downplay bills for treatment that doesn't involve surgery or broken bones. Soft tissue injuries, things like whiplash, sprains, or muscle damage, are harder to see on an x-ray, so adjusters love to minimize them. They'll say things like, that's just soreness, or those injuries heal on their own. But anyone who's lived through a soft tissue injury knows it's not that simple. The pain is real, the limitations are real, and the costs are real. Another trick is discounting bills from the beginning of your treatment. They'll argue that you were just getting diagnosed during those early visits, so there wasn't much pain and suffering yet. But the reality is, those early visits often involve the most intense pain and the most uncertainty about what's wrong and how long recovery will actually take. The insurance company's goal is to chip away at your total damages piece by piece. If they can knock a few $1,000s off here and a few thousand there, it adds up fast for them. For you, it means walking away with far less than you're owed. Fifth tactic, delaying the process to wear you down. This is one of the most frustrating tactics, and it's incredibly effective. After you reject a lowball offer, the insurance company just disappears. Weeks go by with no communication, then months. They stop returning calls. They don't respond to your attorney's letters. They drag their feet requesting records they already asked for. Why do they do this? Because they know you're struggling. Medical bills are piling up, you're missing work, your car is still damaged, or you're paying for a rental out of pocket. You need money now, and they're betting that if they wait long enough, you'll get desperate and accept whatever offer is still on the table, even if it's far below what your case is worth. This is psychological warfare, and it works on a lot of people. The insurance company isn't in a hurry. They have deep pockets and endless patience. You, on the other hand, are dealing with real financial pressure and real pain. They're counting on that imbalance to force you into a bad settlement. The way to counter this tactic is to be prepared for it. Know that delays are just part of the game. Stay organized with your records, keep treating with your doctors, and don't let the silence pressure you into making a decision you'll regret. And if the delay goes on too long, filing a lawsuit can light a fire under the process and force the insurance company back to the table. All 5 of these tactics have one thing in common. They rely on you not knowing how the system works. Once you understand what the insurance company is trying to do, it becomes much harder for them to take advantage of you. The truth is, insurance companies have entire teams and decades of experience working to pay you less. And they're betting you don't know how to fight back. But you don't have to face them alone. An experienced attorney knows these tactics inside and out and can level the playing field so you get the full compensation you deserve. If you or someone you love has been injured in a car accident in Virginia, call us today at 1-800-CRASH-VA for a free consultation. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and check out the next video.